Back in May, settlement documents were filed in the House versus the NCAA case. Quick summary for those who haven't been following. It's a massive overhaul of the system. Back damages are going to be paid. Plus, going forward, schools would be allowed to pay up to 22% of their revenues to student athletes. That would start next year. The settlement still must be approved by the court, and we've started to see some objections filed in the last week, as noted here, though none object to the broad concept of revenue sharing. Big Ten voices weighing in on the impending changes.
Yeah, I think what's right about it is, we've been on this continuum of really allowing us to provide additional student athlete support. First we went to cost of attendance, then to enhanced meals, and NIL was kind of the next piece on that. So these student athletes deserve to benefit from their name, image, and likeness. And now I think we just need to get a set of rules that we all can appreciate and support so that there is competitive equity.
Well, first and foremost, you move ahead by looking out the front windshield, not by looking in the rearview mirror. And so regardless of what happens, whether you like it or not, whether it's what you believe in or not, you have to embrace it, embrace the future or die. And so the challenge right now for all of us is, okay, here's what's coming. Let's figure out how we take advantage of it. I've compared it with our coaches to a time at Tulane when we went into COVID. And everybody was going home. I said, we're going to come back from this thing and we're going to pass people because we're going to run through it. People are going to come out of this stumbling, wobbling, not knowing what to do. But we're going to chart out a plan right now to come out of this and come out of it running. And I think we made up a lot of ground on people that maybe were ahead of us competitively. So looking at this the same way, bringing the coaches in and talking to them about what do they need, how do they see it affecting their sport. You got to rely on the people that are operating, doing it day to day. But embracing and looking for what lies around the corner and then saying, let's go get it.
It's critical, right? The reality is when the rules change, I don't care what industry you're in, you got to change with the rules and you got to be bold and aggressive within them. So it's probably the most critical point right now in college athletics, that and the transfer portal, how you're handling those things. What are the conversations like in your building? And do your players and their parents feel comfortable having transparent, honest conversations, and vice versa? I think we've done a pretty good job with it, but we still got a ton of work to do.
I think it's everything. Roster management is now based upon finances in a lot of ways, and with the revenue sharing that's going to go on here, that you're really going to be building your roster through financial capabilities. And then on top of it, you're going to have to monitor and evaluate what changes are going to happen in the transfer portal. I don't think anybody really knows what's coming our way here. And we're going to start seeing changes in the transfer portal. We're going to start seeing changes in NIL deals. We're going to start seeing changes, hopefully time at programs, that guys aren't going to be leaving your program after a year or semester or a year and a half. And people are going to feel like you don't go chase something when you have it right there. The commitment that the Big Ten's making in football is incredible. So we're hopeful that we're able to secure a roster and keep them.
This is a market correction. It's being forced on us, which we don't like that part of it. We'd rather be proactive, but we really can't set our own rules right now because of the legal landscape. So we're going to continue to evolve, continue to change. It's our job to adapt. If we don't adapt, we're going to die. We've all heard those phrases. So look, I love the fact that we can share more with our athletes. How it happened, we don't necessarily like that part of it, but it is what it is. Let's deal with the legal landscape. Let's get to the end of the settlement. Let's start contributing to our athletes in a more meaningful way. And then we're going to have to recalibrate, I think, some expectations. Our intent is to have 36 sports at Ohio State. How are those funded? And what is the economic model between the athlete and the institution? That's what we have to solve moving forward, and that's really been the crux of all of this. So I'm excited that we actually get to solve this. Now, again, we don't like how it happened, but the fact that we do have settlement, it gives us a pathway to clarity. Then we can start mapping this out and saying what is best for Ohio State, what is best for the Big Ten, what is best for all of intercollegiate athletics. So this actually sets the table to provide the clarity. Maybe it lasts another 10 years and then there's another market correction. Maybe it lasts 20 years. But we need to get to a point where we have clear definition, and we're working on that. All those things are evolving, and maybe by the time some of this airs, that we'll have some of that clarity, and that we'll be able to say, this is it, this is the model, here's the athlete, here's the institution, and here's how we solve it moving forward.
We spend a lot of time trying to talk about being disciplined in the way we think about change. And I think too often people see change and it causes anxiety, it makes them uncertain, they get uncomfortable. I want us to view change as an opportunity. I want us to see it as a chance for us to improve Illinois athletics, to improve our competitive position, to improve our experience for our student athletes. And I'm not. There are days where I wake up and I'm like, wow, this is a lot that's happening.
It is a lot.
But you try and look at it through the right lens and recognize that this is one of those moments in history that we're all living through together, that we have a chance to really reshape college athletics.